Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? You all right?
I'm all right.
Can everyone hear us?
They should be able to, yes.
Excellent.
Can they though?
Yes. Whoa, that's a wave.
Tell you, if you can't hear us,
I've got two
tell
wiggles
us now.
Oh. Thank you, Niskavian, and thank you, Richard Sky. You're awesome. Oh. I've been doing the wiggle for a long time, haven't I?
Yes.
Wow.
You're making
All right.
more and more
Thank
noises
God,
every time you do it, too.
Yep. Someday I need to like turn off the noise gate and stuff that I've got on and just let everyone listen to the crunches that my shoulders do when
It doesn't come through. No.
doesn't come through. All right. Introduction. Crenulation. It's a very, very crunchy word. Crenulation. Crunchy.
You say that word is gentacular.
Crunchy. I feel like it's crunchy. Crenulation.
Do you know what the meaning of gentacular is?
I do not.
It is possibly the most useless word in the English lexicon. Gentacular means to do with breakfast.
Ah, I like that word. I'm gonna have to use that word more often.
Try and use that in a sentence.
I would like a gentacular muffin.
Eggs are
That's not
gentacular.
to do with breakfast.
Yeah. that's a
Cereal
muffin.
is
No, not though, are
gentacular.
they? You can have eggs at any time of the day. You can
No,
have cereal at any time of the day.
absolutely preposterous.
I mean, cereal is best eaten at
Preposterous.
midnight out of a giant bowl. but-
Preposterous is a very suspicious word. It's like it's hiding something. Preposterous. Boisterous feels
Perspicacity's on point today, isn't it?
light and airy, like it's floating. Boisterous. It's a very buoyant word. Boisterous. Shiver. Feels cold, scary, fanged, and spiky. Shiver.
I'll allow it.
Nikara. Feels very warm, like a scarf, a warm scarf fresh out of the dryer in winter. Nikara. It's a scarf. Eris. What a twat. All right, let's go.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome to the relay station.
I can tell you only wrote half of that intro before we went live. And then you were like,
Actually, keeps
oh, yeah,
going.
forgot to introduce
Star Citizen. Very, very open words. Far away. Long, Star Citizen. Big and expansive. And that's where I stopped. Welcome to the relay station, our show where we...
Station sounds like a very
Station.
still word. Possibly the word of two scientists that are separate and yet able to fuse themselves together to create artificial intelligence in a moment of pure desperation. Station.
Relay. Very, very woody word. Relay.
It's a very racy word.
Unsurprising, we've lost half of our viewers already.
What, we down to one? Hi, Noscavian.
Look,
We're doing this show for you this week, Noscavian. Thank you for being here.
funnily enough, Dan, I believe almost all
Well, Dan.
words, all shows are word shows because
That's true.
we
What about
word on
mimes?
them. Nobody likes
What
mimes.
about silent films?
Nobody likes silent films.
There
All
also
right.
hasn't been one in recent memory.
Let's talk about Star Citizen. That's enough out of us. Out of me particularly. Okay. I want to start really quickly with the discussion that we were having before the show started.
All right, so what you do is you put brown or white bread in the toast, and none of that wholemeal shit. All right, we don't have time for that wholemeal bullshit. We don't want any of that. All right, that's just too healthy at that time in the morning. And then you apply margarine or butter, whichever is your preference, and then the topping of your choice. You don't put the topping of your choice and then the butter on.
So, CIG have announced. CIG have announced that. Actually, can one of you guys explain it to them, because my words are failing?
Essentially, to make it very simple, they've for any concierge backer, Star Citizen and Squadron 42, if you had Squadron 42, and only if you already had Squadron 42, are now both attached to your account instead of to your ship package or game package. So you can melt any of your packages and still have the games. Basically, they did it to help people with fleet management. And it's basically just an extra little bonus.
So,
Too much
I like it.
fanfare, as you can see.
I mean, I like it. It's kind of nice, but I also think that they need to find a way to simplify the whole.
Oh, we should clarify one thing just in case anyone hears this and now rushes out and whatever reason wants to go and melt these packages. It's being rolled out gradually, so it may not be applied to your account yet.
It's at least 72 hours, so don't do anything before like Tuesday.
Now, how do you know? Is it supposed to like show up in your hangar or
What did they
something?
say? Just a second, I'll find the post. Just a moment.
Dan, that's exactly what I was saying before the show. I think that anyone who has spent $45 should basically have whichever they choose attached to their account, be it Squadron 42 or Star Citizen. And if someone has spent $90, they should have both automatically attached to their account.
Yes,
Done.
but David, what if somebody accidentally chooses Squadron 42 and then they don't realize that that game's not out yet, and then they have to complain about it? And
what if someone accidentally buys a ship with Squadron 42 and they don't realize that that game isn't out yet? They don't have a... Yeah, you can buy a ship.
You could have to specifically only add a ship and only Squadron 42 to your cart. But yeah, I guess you could possibly do it.
Could be done.
You can also, put water in your gas tank.
And people do it.
That's going to save so much money. Take that, big petroleum.
Come on, Eric. I'm sure you've seen those videos of people at gas stations trying to figure out how to fill up a Tesla.
Oh, I sure have. I also knew somebody who put diesel in their gas vehicle.
Look, it can happen.
Yeah, but the other problem is, on the other side, it requires that human input at some point, and someone may not necessarily understand exactly what it is they're agreeing to when they get this option on screen. They may just be completely leaving it blank.
I would like them to simplify it. I think that 11 billion different packages is a bit much. Yeah.
Then you're taking away their choices. Why aren't you allowing people to have choices?
I am allowing them to have choices. I think that any ship that they buy over $45, they should have the game. That's more choices.
You said they should simplify it.
Yeah, they
That's
should.
not simplifying it.
Sure it is. Oh, geez. That's a lot of head.
And Shiver. Come on, Shiver. You can't let that one lie.
I'm still trying to get over it. I'm sorry. I find that very hard to swallow.
The head is hard to swallow. It's not very pleasant. It's like foamy and white, and don't like it.
That's
All
quite a
right.
mouthful.
Yeah.
So
But
Anyway,
I mean, the other
anyway,
thing
I
is
want you to
when you're
I want you to
buying.
finish your point, and then I'm going to present my rebuttal. to that.
Wait, what point am I presenting?
I don't know, whatever point you had with bringing this up.
Oh, no, my point is that they've made this change for concierge. I believe it's something that they should make across the board. I think they should simplify and yeah. Yeah, blues, but like what Dan Gronlund said, it's anyone who's spent enough money on the game should have the game attached to their account. If I want to sign on and I want to buy a Hornet, the idea that you can buy a Hornet and not be able to play the game, and you can go to the website and you can click and you can buy a ship without a game package. It lets you. I don't think that that's...
You didn't follow it through to the end, though. Does it let you? I don't know.
It does.
Did you create a new account and then see
Well,
if
no.
you could actually complete the transaction without buying a game pack?
No, but I'm sure you can.
Okay.
Because if it you
How many
you
times
have
does
to,
it warn you?
you have to be able to, because if it didn't, they wouldn't say it every once in a while on the website that you have to have a game package. Anyway, I think it's I think that I look at my account right now and I have 4 different game packages.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that ridiculous. Just have me have the...
This did help you. Anyway.
Doesn't help.
They just did that to help you. Like, the thing that they just did for your account.
Yeah,
But
but
yes,
it's...
I mean,
Do you
it
ever
should
look
be
through
for
your
everyone.
hanger? Do you ever look through your hanger and you're like, shit, when did I buy that?
Yes, all the
Right.
bloody time.
What?
Yes. All the time.
I've got a Scorpius.
I had
know
one
you got a
too.
Scorpius because I remember you buying it.
I've got a Hurricane and an Arrow.
You got a lot of ships.
That's just 3. I'm not even. I don't want to.
Yeah, Dan, I agree. That's the
Sorry.
thing. Like, I think it has to keep being said by people to be careful and make sure you get the game. And like, I don't think that content creators or anyone should have to say that as part of their spiel to get the game, right? It's... If I'm like, yeah, you should really go out and buy Elden Ring, it's fantastic. But make sure you get the Elden Ring that lets you play the game and not the Elden Ring that's just the weapon in the game.
I think you should go out and buy the Sims 4 Pets expansion, but make sure you buy the base game because you can't just play the Sims 4 without the base game. And the cost of the Sims 4 expansions is ludicrous because those poor people that like playing the Sims are milked badly.
You know what, Shiver?
We would know.
You know what, Shiver? I was at work recently and they were like they're doing green stuff, environmental stuff, and there was a presentation that was comparing the Canadian response to to climate change to the UK response and saying, here's how we measure up against the UK. And my comments back were, why are we measuring ourselves against the UK? Why do we want Star Citizen to measure itself against The Sims? Like just because there's another game,
I wasn't
Convenient
measuring. I
example.
was just giving an example. Yeah.
just because there's another that does it
Wow.
doesn't mean it's good.
Okay. Honestly, it could stand for almost any game. Almost any game out there has expansions, and if you find the expansion before you find the game, you have to know that it's an expansion instead of the game. And they tell you on Star Citizen 2.
I mean, there's another point to it. I don't know if we've got to this part. I'm still very tired. I'm sorry. But let's say you buy a game package and it includes one or other of the games. You then melt that package. You've always got X game in your hangar, but then you're like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm just going to buy the same ship, and I can get the ship cheaper on its own, and I've got this amount of money left over. I can put that towards another ship. However, to play
They'd have
devil's
to
advocate
reprice
myself,
everything. Yeah.
you haven't got the money back in your wallet. it is still in the system.
Yeah,
But
that's why I think
I'm
it's as
sure that
soon
there's
as you
someone out there
spend,
who's got a good brain that could exploit this monetary system somehow.
maybe, but if you have spent $45, you have the game done. If you have spent $45, whether it's in your account or in a ship, doesn't
But
matter. CIG have your
But
money.
then that's cutting into profit.
How? CIG have your money.
Well, I could say the exact same thing. I'm going to buy a large pizza from wherever, but because I've paid for this large pizza, I should get a small and a medium as well because I've spent that much money. I haven't paid for
No.
them, but I've spent the same amount of money that is the equivalent. Is it not?
No.
Why?
Well,
Because
I think he's just
And
saying that
don't get me wrong. I'm open to the absolute possibility of it. I'm trying to attack it from all angles as well.
my question is, Star Citizen and Squadron 42 combo packs are currently $65. So would you set it at 65 or 90 to get both?
65. I'd set it
But
at
it's on
65.
sale right now.
Yeah, and we got it.
But no,
We
there's always a way. There's always a way to get both games for $65. There has
Yeah.
been for a long time.
and we got it, both games for $45.
Yeah, we got 3 games for $45
Yeah.
because we also have the second part of
Yeah.
Squadron 42 already.
Anyway, it's a weird system. I find it overly convoluted, and I've been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah.
I still think it should be better. Is my solution the best solution? Probably not. I just think they need to improve it, and they actually know that
And-
they need to improve their store as well. They know that their store is ass.
That's true. But to address what Dan Grunland said, oh no, somebody got more pixels for the same amount of money. To everyone on this receiving end, it's just some pixels. But someone, probably a team of people, have invested their time on the money we've put into this to make this. And if you're not getting the ship, then you're getting the game. And that's an even bigger project. So it's not, you are right, but it's not quite that simple either. But at the same time, I'm very much,
And
if
at the same
CIG
time-
say, you've spent this much money, you just get it for free. All right,
At the same time, Shiver, I bought my Endeavor
for free.
at what, $250 or $350, whatever the Endeavor came out as. What is the Endeavor going to be price wise when it finally launches? Like $1,000?
$1 million.
$1 million, or like
$7 million.
the Merchantman. I bought it at $250, and now it's worth what, $550 or something. Like, I got
Very good point,
more
Muscavian.
more
Very good point.
pixels for less money.
I would like to just
Anyway,
point out,
let's
to be
okay.
a slight devil's advocate here.
I wouldn't care.
I actually
Yeah.
figured this. I actually wrote it down. To actually do this, to buy a ship without being able to get the game, or without purchasing the game, you currently need to skip the join now or join the universe button at the beginning, which is a big splash screen.
Which everyone
You
does
have-
because everyone hates splash screens on websites.
Then you have to skip the play now button, and instead, which is big and bright blue, and you have to click the tiny gray pledge store button up in the top right hand corner, which people might do because a lot of stores do, a lot of websites do have their store in the top bar. Anyway, then you need to skip the game packages section and go down to ships. Then you need to click on a ship, and then you have to go to buy options and then ignore the recommended package and instead buy a different package, because the recommended package is always one with a ship,
Only if that ship
or
has a
always one with a
package.
game.
Only if that ship has a package with the game, because not all
Yes,
ships
but they
have
don't
packages
present-
with the game.
But they don't present any of them to you on the front page. You'd have to manually go down through the list of ships to find one that didn't have a game package. And then you would have to ignore all the warnings when you were going through. I think that is sufficient, but I guess I could be wrong.
I personally would be absolutely a-okay, right? If you open the website and then the very first thing you see is buy Star Citizen package, buy Squadron 42 package, $45, $50, whatever, and then they just say, you will always have this in your hangar. If that's what CIG decide to do, okay, cool. That's really good for all of those people. No skin off my nose. I do find it a little weird that you have to have spent $1,000 to
Yeah.
have it included always. But if that's the way they're going to do it, that's the way
It
they're
should
gonna do
be
it.
spend 45, buy Star Citizen for $45, or buy Squadron 42 for $45, or buy them both for $65. And then the next thing, choose the ship you want. These are the ships that are included at this price. If you want a ship that is more costly, you pay the difference, and then you have that ship and you've got the games. Like,
That makes sense to me.
yeah.
I
Anyway.
understand what you're saying.
Anyway,
That makes sense.
let's move on.
As long as there's a way to like skip the choose a ship thing, you only end up with a game package.
Well, and then you should be able, like, when you get the game package, it should basically be that amount goes into your wallet, basically, right? And then when you choose the ship, it comes out of your wallet. But
makes
if you
sense.
don't want to choose a ship, you should just have the $45 in your wallet,
That makes sense to me.
right?
No, that makes sense because you're still paying them. So that's
You're paying them. Who cares?
Yep.
Anyway,
that's fine by me.
Anyway, none of this matters because CRG aren't listening to us. Anyway, we're just ranting because this is what we do.
Yeah. Thank you for watching us rant.
All right.
So
We have
whole
lots of
meal
stuff
bread.
to talk about this week.
Yeah, let's talk about. Okay, Eric, do you want to talk about Star Citizen Live first, or should we do show and tell first?
I'm gonna talk about Star Citizen Live first.
Do it.
There's a couple things I wanted to mention. So I'm just going to go through some notes that I took very quickly, very quick notes. So there was some questions about like near-term gameplay involving the water now that we have rivers. Basically, the extent of what they have planned near-term is like mud and dirt on players and on player characters and ships. Swimming, for example, is not currently a priority because apparently it isn't a particularly necessary thing for Squadron 42. So it hasn't been done yet. They were saying, if there was a lot of swimming in Squadron 42, swimming would already be done, but there isn't. So here we are. Swimming is, of course, coming at some point. They just haven't prioritized it yet.
More important question that probably wasn't asked. Fishing.
No, it was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, no, there was a whole big thing about fishing on
Oh,
there.
good. Never mind.
Was it real?
Todd Pappy loves fishing, first of all.
Good.
They are going to do fishing, but the core gameplay careers come first.
That's fine.
So
So they got to do the core gameplay and then they'll tackle fishing.
that's right.
Cool.
I'm
sure that'll come into someone's net.
Some of the most exciting news this week. Quantum will be partially active in 3.17. It will dictate the prices for quantum fuel, hydrogen fuel, and repair. It will also determine where service beacons occur and the price on them.
Question.
Oh, go ahead.
So some of quantum will be in, some of it won't be.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, but basically,
No, in seriousness,
yes,
so will this actually
it's
be
only
quantum
managing
systems?
it's only managing a small part of the economy just to make sure that it doesn't rip everything to shreds. So currently it will dictate the prices of quantum fuel, hydrogen fuel, and repair. It will determine where service beacons occur and what their price will be, or their reward will be. And there will be 3 probability volume tags in play, which is privacy, security, and traders, and at about a dozen locations in the game.
Cool.
So they are going to start
Okay.
doing the probability volumes thing
That's
that
really.
they've been talking about for a long time.
That is really, really important and really big.
Yep.
And genuinely surprising that it's coming.
In a couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, like coming very soon, and we had no idea. And this is game changing stuff, right? If Quanta works, if like Quanta is the basis for the persistent universe, and if this works as like a tier 0 implementation of Quanta, then the possibilities are endless.
Astronomical.
Yeah, really, really big.
So, you said it's 12 systems it's being rolled out in?
12 locations in the
12
well,
location-
he to be precise, he said about a dozen locations in the game will have probability volumes.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, okay.
So I'm guessing around all the major planets and probably some of the moons, or maybe some of the stations, something like that.
Do we
Yeah,
know how
yeah.
big the probability volumes are going to be? Like, is it going to be an entire moon, or is it going to be like around one station on the moon? It'll
Don't
be
know.
it'll be really interesting to see, and I hope we in the next couple weeks get more. Like, I hope they do an Inside Star Citizen about it, showing us how it's going to work and where it is, and like, you know.
I'm with Dan's bang on. Testing the systems out just in
Yeah.
those 12 locations, seeing what effect that's going to have on the live game, and then they'll probably keep it to the 12 location. Well, they could go one of two ways, I suppose, and then they'll probably go a third way that no one ever thought of. But they'll either keep it in the 12 locations and then add more onto Quanta and see how it's reacting and stuff like that, or they'll keep the same Quanta systems and then expand out the locations, or knowing CIG, like I say, some weird third option where they do both at the same time, and you're like, you guys are nuts.
Yeah.
Probably the most important. Well, actually, I should talk about this first. There's a desync fix in the Evocati build right now. Basically, what this means is that they're not 100% sure it will work. They think it will work. They think it's better than what they had before, but currently it looks a lot better, but it can introduce some jitter to the characters and ships, as opposed to before, where people just weren't in the location that you thought they were, which is a lot worse, I think. So to hear a full, I can't really fully explain it the way that Todd Pappy can, but it is in Star Citizen Live if you want to check it out. But it's a significant improvement, they think. They're testing it right now in Evocati, and they do hope to continually make it better over time, obviously. Probably the most important update in the history of Star Citizen, 3.17 has a keybind for hailing air traffic control.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So
Oh,
you no longer have to go to comms in menus.
that's huge.
You know what one of the best
Well, the
knock-on
question-
effects of that will be?
The question on that was, why did it take so long? Todd Pappy said, I have no idea.
Do you know what one of the best knock-on effects of that's going to be?
What's that?
What's that?
People using voice attack can now bind it to like, let me
Yeah.
fucking land, or something like that. Whatever they want.
Let me
Perfect.
land.
Amazing.
Sargrath, yeah, I'm sure you
I'd
can
imagine
still
you
go
could
through
still
comms.
go
if
through
you
the
like.
comms
Yeah.
menu.
Well, and that's actually something that's always bothered me. I hate that if you want to go into comms and land, it's like in your friends list or something. It's like, no. Why is it
Well,
there?
only if you use Mobi-Glass. You can
Yeah,
also
but if-
use the MFDs on the ship.
I never use the MFDs on the ship. They're too far away. I can't touch them.
Anyway, as far as Sargrath, yeah, I think you can still go through comms if you want to. It's just that they mapped it to They mapped a keybind to hail the nearest ATC to you, basically. One really cool thing that I saw, and this is mostly confirmations, but it's still really freaking cool. This is a Reddit post this week. I should actually have written down which person it was, but it's from a CIG employee. They posted on Reddit in reply that planets can and will orbit. They probably could right now, except for a few systems that would, explode if they tried to do it. Most notably, apparently, is Star Map, which can't support that. But
They're not,
and
they're not just
Go
going to
ahead.
orbit, though, are they? They're actually going to spin on their own axes. Is that
yes,
right? Or
they will
want
orbit
to.
and spin.
Yeah.
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 I think they spin right now, don't they? Am I wrong? Could be wrong. They
I've
will.
never sat there long enough and just stared.
Anyway, planets can and will orbit, and seasons are planned. So, they have and seasons are planned. They have a new foliage shader that they're making, which should allow them to do a smooth transition of plants between seasons. So changing color, or dropping leaves or whatever. And obviously, because the planets orbit and spin, then they should be able to tie that to the seasons and everything. This is not a promise they are making. It is what they are planning to do right now. They don't want to say that it's promised because they could run into problems. But this is the plan currently.
I like that, Niskavian. And on the, I find that idea nuts of like having the seasons change and the foliage change in real time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm trying to think of any game that's done that before in real time.
Most games don't need to because they don't run a simulation of that fidelity. Yes, I
No.
used the word.
But they'll racing games will have 4 different versions of a map, one for each season, right?
Exactly.
I know they did a game. Bethesda did an official game jam internally with Skyrim before it was released on everything, and one of those updates was seasons, which I know it's a weird thing. I really wanted that, but they never released it. But
Why
that
not?
had it.
That would
I
have
know,
been
it's
really
weird, isn't it?
cool. And considering the amount of
Yeah.
time people spend in Skyrim, like, have that.
I mean, they might have
But here-
released it without me knowing. It's, it's been
18
a long
years?
time since Skyrim released.
Yeah.
And now I play it on my e-cigarette.
So, this is my curiousness now. So, I know they've already gone really far, but I do want to know if they're going to do this. So, the only reason we have seasons on Earth is because of the axial tilt of the planet. If there is no axial tilt on a planet, it should not have seasons. And I'm wondering if they're going to do that, or not. It would be interesting because it would be another way to differentiate planets from each other, right? Like, you might go to one planet and maybe it even has the same foliage set as another planet, but one will have seasons and one won't because of the different axial tilts of the planets. So that might be interesting.
The simulation they're creating is honestly just stupid. It's just
Oh,
stupid.
it is. It totally
Okay.
is.
It's stupid.
So, above and beyond that, last thing I have here for us is in a huge gift to the developers themselves. In 3.17 and going forward, they'll be able to schedule and automate dynamic events to happen on their own, so they don't have to press the big red button to make them go.
Awesome.
As they've talked about before, in the future they will be actually tied to certain conditions in the game universe to trigger them. But for now, they're not there yet. But they will be able to at least schedule them and automate them.
That's good.
So that's good.
Nowhere, they're not on planes. They're in space.
I don't think
I
you
don't
can
think-
fit a planet on a plane.
I don't think any of the planets are tilted currently, but I think that's just I think it's currently a limitation of their planet creator thing. So, anyway,
On
before
Sagarat?
we go any further, I wanted to share something here. David, do you have all the files ready?
No, but what do you need?
Okay. Before we go into the full show and tell, can you bring up the should be a picture, an image file that you have? It's called Aaron Halo.
One second.
Or the
Images.
first part of the name is Aaron Halo.
What? Why don't I see any images? I don't have any images.
Just give me a second.
Waiting for some peanuts.
Oh wait, no, I know why. Never mind.
It's been a long time since I gave
Um,
peanuts out on a bloody airplane because of allergies.
Um,
Now it's these pretzels, and I hate pretzels.
Yeah, there are 3 different zip files, so one of them has images.
yeah, I have to find image source.
So while he's working on that, kind of tangentially related to this, apparently asteroid scanning was not working very well in 316. A lot of asteroids were not scanning properly, so you couldn't find them. The ones that were mineable. They do have a temporary fix in for that. It sounds like Todd Pappy sounded pretty. He's like, yeah, we got a fix in for it. You know, he sounded a little uncertain that it would permanently fix the problem. And he said it would be fully fixed when server meshing comes online. But I wanted to call this out because what this is, this crazy person in the community, I just linked the article version of this. This crazy person in the community, Shepherd75, mapped the Aaron Halo asteroid belt and did a full breakdown of the density of the different bands of the asteroid belt in the game. And if you go to that link, it goes way deeper into like whole essay style about all of the features of the belt and how to mine it and how to get the most money out of mining it, and where to go and if you're starting here, where do you go, and so on and so forth. And it's amazing. And I thought it was just
This
so cool.
this is exactly the sort of thing that Chris Roberts said he wanted to happen. Rather than have these
Mhm.
big detailed guides in games, he wanted players to actually do exactly this. And it's cool that it's being done at this point. This guy needs a girlfriend. Oh, God.
Oh, Bluesy. I think it's pretty cool.
I feel bad I
And,
laughed.
Huge props to him. This has been extremely popular in the community. He's updated it multiple times. This actual page now has 129,000 hits. So
It's pretty
know,
good.
pretty amazing stuff. And I was kind of blown away with the detail he went into. And the funny thing is, like, you go to that website and you're like, wow, this is really crazy. And then there's a link to the full survey report and a link to the PDF version.
Nice.
Okay.
I
don't know,
how
I-
people even start doing this sort of thing. It blows my mind.
I know, it's amazing.
I actually think it's really fun. I like this ties into I thought it was really, really fun when nice Elwook. When the Planetary Society wanted to get in touch with Star Citizen about their cloud tech, right?
Mhm.
I find it really interesting that like astronomers and people who do this stuff can actually like there's enough detail in Star Citizen for them to, and it's only there's only going to be more. And I find that really, really impressive on CIG's part and really heartening on the like. This guy probably had a blast making this.
Yep.
You know, I, when you're interested in something and you're like, yes, this is it's really nice, and I'm glad someone was interested enough to do this and probably felt really good, and I'm glad that it's been noticed by so many people to be like, yeah, this is bloody awesome, good job.
Well, people, or what? One person was commenting on Reddit. I made 4 million UEC following this guy's
Yeah.
this guy's advice in like a couple hours. But like for example, one of the things on that page is he's like, you know, if you start at the ArcCorp L1 refinery and travel towards Crusader L4, and you abort your quantum travel at this exact moment, you will be in the middle of the 5th band of the Aaron Halo, and you can mine there. You know, like. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Which brings up the ever present point of we need to be able to put our own damn quantum markers, but
and they're coming.
I know.
And then you can put down your own quantum markers, and you can actually go here on purpose, or not on purpose, but more directly.
Well, and that'll also be good because when people can go there more directly, they don't have to abort stuff, then pirates will also be able to monitor those places more directly. And like it's there's going to be so much more gameplay there because all of a sudden, oh, if everyone knows that Band 5 of Aaron Halo is the place to make money mining, well, guess what? That's also the place to make money killing miners.
Pirate. Yeah, totally.
And also attacking people and prospectors.
And then eventually Quanta will be aware of that, and they'll start bumping up security.
I love it. I love it.
Honestly,
yeah, we know you were just making a humorous remark, Boozy. Don't worry.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of some of the effort we went into back in the day.
Yeah.
on Relay and INN stuff. We went pretty deep on some of our stuff too.
Yeah.
But this is amazing quality work by Shepard. So
I've told this story before, and I'll probably end up telling it again. But for years, I love Diablo 2. Diablo 2 is one of my favorite all-time games, and for a period in high school, I would get home from school, go straight downstairs, play D2, grab food, eat while playing D2, play until 1 or 2, 3 in the morning, sleep, wake up, go to school, come back, sit down and play D2. Like it was, I loved it. And I spent a lot of time on like, you know, early internet sites that told you like Diablo 2 websites that were like, here's all of the equipment, here's how to get this, here are the chances of getting this amulet dropped from Andalariel on normal, nightmare, and hell. And like and I can remember thinking at the time being like, what kind of bloody madman spends their time figuring out these odds and putting together a website and listing all of this stuff, and like who in their right minds does this? And then 20 years later.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, I will be right back.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually. I'll put us to the
I'm
first.
gonna go and check one of those Diablo 2 sites now that I've mentioned it.
Yeah, gotta go grab my my CDs and reinstall. I'm gonna put up the first of the medias, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, get this guy. He's so fucking useful. His fucking favorite game came on a CD. Ooh.
I remember
Sat
getting
here with my 12.
I remember getting SimCity on a floppy disk. SimCity 2000 on a floppy disk.
Remember playing Monkey Island 2 on the Amiga with 12 floppy disks.
Yep. Many floppies. So first up here we have a quick look at some looting. Do you know why they're looking at looting here, Shiver?
Possibly. Is this because of the loot implementation that's coming up, and they're including rarity on
Yeah.
loot and so on?
Yeah, so not only including rarity on loot, but they're also moving a whole bunch of stuff out of stores and into the world, so you have to go adventure to find things, which is pretty cool.
I really like this. This is the stuff that I have been waiting for in Star Citizen. The like, oh, you can't get everything in a store. Oh, you actually find interesting things in crates and on people's corpses that you can't get any other way. I love this. And
What you've literally been asking for.
yeah, this is exactly what I've been asking for years. And I'm really glad to see. I mean, it's an early implementation, but item rarity is good. Everything they talked about in this was great. I love it. I'm really excited.
One of the things I think that they need to figure out, and I totally understand why they do it, but they need to allow you to at least loot one suit of armor. Currently, you can't loot armor unless you don't have any armor on.
Yes. The backpacks are not great.
They're not big enough for armor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in order to loot a suit of armor, you have to basically take all the armor you have off.
Well, I think the other option, and I think what you probably have to do, is you go into one of those little bases, you kill everyone in it, and then you drag all of the corpses to the elevator, take the elevator up, and then drag all of the corpses into your ship.
There you go. Perfect. That works.
What they really need is the ability to sell all of the stuff that's in your ships. I wonder who buys corpses.
Sargarath, why is it not about the
Butchers.
size of the backpack?
It's about the girth.
Oh, okay.
No, it's about how you use it. It's
But you can loot things like you can loot parts of armor, like you can loot helmets, which I tend to do. I'm like, yeah, I can't take a. I can't take. What?
This needs to be
boy.
recorded in history. So Sargarath, when Eris said, "Who would buy corpses?" Sargarath in chat responded, "The Marines. They have corpsemen."
I'm dead. I'm dead. That was.
Are you dead?
Well, the Marines will buy you.
Oh, good.
That's good. That's good.
I
Go ahead.
I agree. I think that it's really unfortunate that you can't really loot armor, and also I found looting weapons really difficult as well. I found grabbing. I know that you shouldn't have an infinite amount of room in your backpack, but give us a little bit of something more.
Bit more legroom.
Yeah. Loot's only fun if you can loot.
Yeah, totally.
And
So that's something I think they need to figure out. I know that they're starting, and I think this is one of the instances where they're starting with more realism and then
Bye,
working
Dan.
their way backwards. Hey, Ben. Bye, Dan. Have a good one.
yeah, and that's fair. They can start with realism on this. I don't really care too much until there's more stuff to loot anyway. But I think now that they're spreading things apart and there are things that you cannot get in store, like presumably there will be sets of armor that you cannot get in store.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
let's say you kill a high level enemy and they drop armor and you're like, "Oh, well, I have to get rid of my current armor to take their armor." I think people are going to be pretty disappointed in that.
Yeah, it's just a lot of running around, because if you really want it, you have to go back to your ship, take off your armor, put it in the ship,
Yeah.
go back down there, put on that armor suit, and then go leave.
There
So
should
that's
be
kinda
a
why.
weight limit or something in the bags, but it does have to be more lenient. You should be able to. I'd say you need to be able to carry one set of armor in your bag
I think so.
for the
Depends on the bag load, doesn't it?
It does, but if you've got like the largest bag you can have, you should be able to hold one set of armor in it, and then reduce it based on the size.
But it should also come at a cost of, in some way, impeding your dexterity.
Yeah, movement speed.
wait.
That's fine.
If you're going to be a loot goblin,
Yep.
then
The weight
there-
should
there
slow you
needs to
down.
be s-
Absolutely.
balance. Yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm fine with that. But it's just a little clunky right now because you can't really effectively loot armor very well without it taking you a long time.
You say loot goblin, but I distinctly remember in Oblivion going through those damn chaos gates and picking
Elder
up
Scrolls?
Elder Scrolls
Oblivion.
Oblivion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chaos
Going
gates.
through the Daedra gates.
Yeah, Daedric gates, whatever, same thing. And killing all the things in them, but picking up every single piece of Daedric armor
Yeah.
and weaponry,
that's fair.
and coming out of that with 700 pounds of Daedric weaponry, and
Yep.
being like,
Yeah, I mean,
David,
that
I
loot goblin
did
thing.
David, I did that exact same thing, and every single one of those Oblivion gates I came out of, I was moving so slow.
yep,
Because I was like triple my weight limit.
yep,
And then don't forget, because we all did that, and then we took it to wherever, and we never used it
Ever.
or sold it. We
Never.
just hoarded it.
I had a giant pile. I actually had piles of all the different types. So all of my Daedric weaponry was in one room in one pile. All my glass weaponry was in one room in one pile. Like, just piles. And I didn't even...
Yeah.
I started with like placing the daggers nicely on a shelf, and by the end it's just pile.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But I
On
think
on the other side, though, if I could trade my 400 looted suits of armor in for a new spaceship,
yeah.
you know,
That's what I was going to say. Was I don't think hoarding is going to be so much of a problem in Star Citizen.
no, I don't think
because
so.
of the economy. But
We're going to be really,
I know
really
I'm
big
gonna be
economic
like,
goals
oh,
for
I've got
players.
this stupidly rare item or something like that that's going to be amazing, and I'm just going to put it on this shelf and never use it and look at it.
Yep. I'm never gonna wear any nice armor because I don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until they go through insurance a bit more.
I still think the insurance system for that isn't going to give you. Let's say you have this rare piece of armor. I think you'll just get a monetary value back. You wouldn't get.
think you'll have
Because then
to-
it's not rare, is it? Because where did it suddenly spontaneously?
I
appear
think
from?
it'll depend. Like, yeah, it's going to depend on how rare it is. Like, if they've got common,
the-
rare,
I think you'll have to go loot it off your body.
I think there will be insurance for
And-
a common
well-
piece of armor. They'll just replace it.
For a common
Yeah,
piece.
but
Yeah,
if you've got this ultra rare, really heavy armor and you die, you will respawn, but you won't have the ultra rare heavy armor. You will have enough time to go back and get it off your own corpse.
The question is, can you look through the eyes of your corpse at your live player coming at you and, you know,
Only if you've got
Well-
two monitors.
have an interesting quantum moment?
well, I think they were also talking about it in this week's ISC of bringing in permadeath.
Mhm.
Now, permadeath is cool and all, and they talked about how, and they've talked about this in the past, Death of a Spaceman and all, but like when you die, you will be like your person's child, the progeny of your next of kin. That's what, yes. I wonder if they're going to, institute some kind of psychological damage of looting your parent's corpse for their armor.
I love it. That would be amazing. You just have like nightmares just suddenly like flash in front of you while you're playing. That's hilarious.
They're doing some updates to looting, which is good because it needs to happen because looting is important. What else we got? Selling, yes.
You know what? I know this needed to be said for a while. Well, it doesn't really need to be said, but the game's getting pretty damn playable, and it sounds like it's going to be getting a lot more playable in a big hurry.
Yep. Yep. Selling is good.
Hey, we can sell stuff now. Well, in a couple weeks anyway.
Yep. And being able, like, you can sell things at the same type of store that would sell them, which makes sense. That's fine. And they're going to have it
I love
based.
how far down the rabbit hole they're going here.
Yeah, they're going to have it
It's
based on the inventory amount in that store. So if you're selling something to a store that has, if you're selling a pistol to a store that has 50 of that pistol, then they're not going to pay you very much for that pistol. If you're selling a pistol to a store that sells ship weapons and no pistols, then they're not going to pay you very much for that pistol because they don't sell that pistol.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I think they mentioned is, I don't remember if they mentioned it.
However, if you sell them an item they do stock and they don't have a lot
Yes.
of stock in it, they will pay you up to 90% of the item's value, which is a lot more than most games.
Sargareth, I completely agree. That's actually a great idea. Like a family tree of like who died and how they died, and
Yeah,
then who
totally.
came after them.
And it should
showing-
be styled in the same style as the star map.
Yeah, I like that.
Be
That's a really good
so
idea.
cool. Also, I really do like the disembodied Pico head, which
Selling
they declared will be the most expensive item in the game.
Yep, as it should be. Selling's good. It means you can hopefully, bring home 50 guns and sell them all.
Well, it means that you could just wander around the world and go to places that have stuff, loot them, and go sell stuff, which
Yep.
is like the basis of most most RPGs now.
They talked a little bit about medicine, or the
But-
UI for it anyway.
Look,
Oh, go ahead,
the
sure.
most important thing they need to have is a phased plasma rifle in the 40-watt range.
Okay, sure. Why the 40-watt range, Shimmer?
Because otherwise I wouldn't be referencing Terminator.
Oh, okay. And here you get to see someone actually looting their own corpse. So
Yep.
that's fun.
They've said that they're
Thank you, Sargareth.
Go ahead.
they said that they're going to reduce the effects of bleeding, which is good because you bleed out really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, Hedicus. Jeez,
53 months.
Insanity. Absolute insanity. This is good. I mean, more stuff to the health gameplay is nice to see. I believe they also mentioned that they're going to stop giving you crime stat if you accidentally run into your own corpse,
Which is hilarious.
which is hilarious and also important.
Yep. Yeah, it's a fun bug, hey?
Well, it's funny because we've been joking about that for ages, but what actually happens when you find your own corpse and run it over? I guess they consider that
You
illegal.
go to jail. Currently.
Yep.
A new kind of self-loathing.
Oh man.
Oh, they said that hydration and hunger are going to persist over logins, which is great.
I think also your health, basically your whole player status, I think,
Yep.
is going to persist.
Oh, and this one was really
Are they going to
interesting.
persist over Kenny logins?
No.
No, nothing
any
can do
logins
that.
are
Okay.
special.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that one thing that they've talked about here is really interesting, and I'm gonna call it the Dark Souls or the Elden Ring mechanic, in that when you jump off a high place, for example, there is a random chance that you will get hurt when you land. Right?
Instead of dying?
No, instead of landing fine, right? It's showing right here. On the one, they just get hurt and they're fine. On the other, they're incapacitated, right? Same jump,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
adding a randomization to the effects. Because, I mean, sometimes you jump off a chair and sprain your ankle. Sometimes you jump off, a 2-story building and are fine. Like, it's
Yep.
it's random, and I
So they're
really
adding-
like that.
And they're adding some randomization. Yep.
They're adding some
You like the body
randomization.
dragging there, Shiver?
I love that body dragging.
They were,
It's like,
this
"Look,
was
we're gonna get you
this
to
is
safety,
them
you're gonna
going,
get to
yes,
safety."
we know there are problems with body dragging.
Yeah.
right now."
I want to say that
I've not seen headbanging like that at black metal concerts. Hey, shenanigans.
That's funny. Hey, Citizen Shenanigans.
Here it goes again.
I used to have the hair for headbanging.
Oh, God.
You did?
Yeah, but you didn't have the music taste for it.
Yeah, I did.
No, you.
You can
I
headbang
need
to
to see
things other
pictures.
than metal.
I need to see pictures of you with like shoulder length hair.
Yeah, I can find them. I think I can
This
find them.
needs to happen.
I think you'll find that you can only, if it's true headbanging, it's only to metal. Otherwise, it's sparkling head nodding.
I like that. That's
Oh
good.
boy.
Let's see. I'd have to go. That's very far ago, isn't it? God.
Oh God, get rid of that fucking body dragging. I can't get over it.
No, I'm not going to.
That's so good.
That's funny.
All right. What's next, anyway?
Well, the good news is we've patched up your gun wounds. The bad news is we broke your neck dragging you out of the elevator.
Stella Fortuna.
Oh, yeah, the painting. What do you two think of the buying paint jobs?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you think though, Eris, if you've spent, I don't know, $400 on a ship, that you should just get the paint job included because you spent $400?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I don't. I want to see the eventual implementation of us being able to do our own paint jobs.
Mhm.
But in the interim, if CIG want to sell paint jobs that are special, that have their unique livery, I am okay with that. Because you don't have to. Sure, buy it, whatever.
Now, that's exactly what I wanted to bring up. If they do want to bring in, I don't know, if it's going to be RGB or hex code or whatever, but how will they stop basically someone saying, just making for free as close as they can get, if not exactly the same as a paid for paint job?
I think they were saying
Will
they talked about this before, and they're like, well, we do need to do something to protect the ones that people have paid for, but it'll be as like narrow as they can make it, if you know what I mean. They're gonna try not to lock off very much from allowing people
That's
to do
true
things.
shenanigans.
So it might just be like a very specific like tint and like
There you go,
so maybe
Shiver.
it's only emerald green metallic, ones you can't do or whatever. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Wow. Has Cass seen this picture?
Yep.
What did she think of this picture?
She's glad she didn't know me back then.
How long ago was this?
Long
Oh,
time ago.
Before I knew him.
That was still high school. So 20 years?
Ironically,
20 years ago?
the paint of your guitar matches the paint of the ship.
It does. It does. I loved that guitar. It was a great guitar. Bass, but yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, Elwook,
That's it.
Oh,
Rub
there
it
it
in.
is.
Is that a proper Les Paul Gibson in the background? Sorry, is that a
No,
proper
it's
Gibson or is
Vantage.
that an
It's a
amplifier?
Vantage.
Oh, okay. That's one of the things that's really surprised me about here in Japan because I couldn't bring any of my guitars with me, which is a source of great infuriation, which pisses me off. There's a music shop in the Aeon Mall, and I've only ever seen one music shop here in my travels. I know that there are more, but their choice of guitars is: would you like a $50 Yamaha? No, no, thank you. No. Or would you like this £2,000 Gibson? No, no, thank you. If you got something that's just, like a Jackson or, something that's good but doesn't
Just give
require
just
me selling a major
give me a
organ.
Fender. Give me,
I don't like Fenders, but they do have Fender Deluxe in there, which is only £1,500.
it's nuts.
Wow.
Oh, Citizen Shenanigans, don't worry. I'm a bass player because I have no musical talent.
Wow. I really hope there aren't any bass
said it,
players
not me.
in the audience right now.
Look,
I apologize on behalf of Relay to all bass players.
I was vocals, bass I could do while singing.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Elwood. When I went there, I thought I'll find a nice Ibanez because it is a Japanese brand. No, I haven't seen one here. Which is weird because they do a lovely carbon fiber body, which is really nice and light, and with my back, that would be amazing. Nope, I haven't seen one.
All right, Nakara, you slap into bass. Yeah, slap into bass is still a thing, Sargareth. You also included some clips from Reddit because we've gone through everything from ISC.
I sure did. There were some great clips from Reddit.
So
week.
we're gonna look at some of these clips from Reddit. That's a lot of chips. It's a lot of big chips.
This
Man,
is posted by Confident Ad 7244 on Reddit. But yeah, this is 49 players gathering together. Is a lot of sheep. A lot of sheeps. I'm actually amazed that the game is running at more than 1 FPS in this screenshot or this video. I mean, kind of funny too because that 1890 has a bit of trouble maneuvering. I think it got body checked by the Hercules.
I find it actually really interesting seeing the 890 beside the Reclaimer and being like, man, the 890 really is big.
He's huge.
I know you don't like it, but I really do love the look of the 890.
I don't.
The only Origin ship I don't like is the 600. It's just too much of a bubble for me. That 890, that's a nice looking ship.
Really like the 400i.
Reclaimer, the Hercules. Oh, what's that ugly thing right in the bottom center?
I'm sat right here, thank you.
The ugly one that's landed on the large landing pad. It's hideous.
Shut up. What's the next one?
Out of interest, 'cause
There are 6.
when we did your ship thing, what did you think of the?
Oh wow! Holy
what
crap!
was the other Explorer that they released? That is nice.
The Odyssey?
With the mining laser and that's it. What did Eris think of the Odyssey?
Oh,
I don't know if he ever rated the Odyssey.
No,
I
he
think
didn't.
the Odyssey came out after the ship rating thing.
Yeah.
I'd have to see it again. That's
is
insane.
an amazing landing job. And also great hitbox.
Yeah. That's really impressive to see, actually.
Now, the funny thing is, the actual title of this on Reddit was "The Eclipse Won't Blow Away in the Wind." Now, does anybody know what that's about? Because I do, but you have to have been looking at Reddit like a week and a half ago. A Hercules blew away in the wind in a storm on one of the planets.
Really? A Hercules.
This great video of the guy chasing after it, trying to catch up to it. It's blown away across the planet.
That's amazing. That's so good.
So this guy's
Oh.
like, well, my eclipse won't blow away because I'm gonna land it between two posts.
Is there a video of the guy chasing after his Hercules?
Yes.
You know what needs to be done to that?
What's that?
Fenton? Fenton! Oh, bloody hell! Fenton!
Oh, and this video was posted by Strange Land Whale, which is a great username.
I've had this happen. It's great.
Oh, you're on the next one now?
Yeah,
The nightmare one? Yeah.
yeah. I've had this happen.
This one is posted by was posted by Abazor1 on Reddit. And
Yeah, the
it's a little
NPCs
nightmare
have
dude.
some issues.
Sometimes. Me sure do.
Just the way that second one just like stops then.
Hmm?
What?
What do you want? What you looking at?
This is so nightmare-inducing. The House of Nightmares.
Have you seen that picture of me in high school with a bass guitar?
Uh,
Oh, awesome.
what's happening here? Wow. All right. That's waited. Yep. That's Star Citizen.
That one is posted by Aerody Content.
Why is this one so tiny?
Shouldn't be.
What the hell?
Had that happen to me on Cyberpunk.
I love it. The
That's
wall
so
death.
good.
Wall death is was posted by SparkyX 2020.
That last video crashed Streamlabs, so yeah. I don't know if I want to try it again. I think I'll just not. Yeah.
All right. Instead, what I'll do for people is I will go find that link and I will just share it in chat.
There's a couple of images I'm gonna put up too.
Yeah.
That's a nice one. The Prowler with the blood red. No audio. We should have audio. Do we have audio?
Hello. Can anyone hear
Can't hear us, tell us now. How many fingers am I holding up, chat?
I just turned on the audio on the stream and I can't hear anything.
Can't hear anything. Why?
How's it going over there, David?
It's showing me that we have audio, so
That's even... Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. That's weird. Could it just... Hang on. Oh no, Streamlabs crap. Might have to just close Streamlabs down completely, voluntarily, and then restart